I'm here with the man, Bernardino Coco. I'm like, good morning.
Morning.
Oh my goodness. And we have Godfred Akotobuafu, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. We jump into the papers,
No,
Bernard.
I like the song.
Yeah,
Who Jah bless no the fear. Every time I hear the song,
Who
I have to
that
repeat.
guy know fear enemy any day?
They go do,
They go do.
No, it be. It's
Yeah,
a
boy.
very good song.
Yeah, boy.
Good morning to Stoneboy. And I want to say good morning to EL.
Oh boy. Oh.
Yes, EL.
EL.
Yes, I just want to say good morning to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bikoko. Kalu. Oh, la.
Let
Is
me
everything okay?
give you a little known fact
Okay.
about Ear.
Okay.
He has the most flexible bones in the history of bones.
In terms of dancing or what?
No, the things he can do with his fingers.
Cracking.
No. He can bend them in any direction.
Really?
Yeah.
He was my desk mate in class 4.
Yesterday,
Wow.
Yesterday, EL sent me a video from Dansoman
What was he doing in Danzoma?
of the neighbors that the road users now have. And about 12 cows.
So he was tracking the cows.
So he had to move his car for the cows to pass.
He was tracking the
When
cows.
the cows finish, he say, okay,
His fellow road users.
I'm telling you. So we are thinking of what. So please, what should we do with these cows? The cows that have taken over ours.
He should have done his Kalu for them.
But somebody gave
But
me
that's
a
serious.
different perspective that I felt gave a lot more nuance to the conversation.
Tell me.
The person is saying we have taken over
But the
the
spaces.
spaces belonging to the cows. So where should they go?
That is only true for the outskirts of the city.
No, but you
for
see the dance man.
If you see a cow at Adenta
Or Abelegbe?
or a cow at
Or in Danzuma?
yes, but if you see I'm saying that the places where we've taken over are the places where they were at the outskirts on the Accra Plains.
Yes.
Ashaiman and those areas. But in Dansoman, that's not their area. Dansoman is for us.
Anyway, front page of the Daily Graphic. Court orders Akwatia MP's arrest. Catholic bishops want government to commit to partnership for education reforms.
All right.
GPCC backs Mahama's lean admin, and by GPCC I mean Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council.
Continue with the Ghanaian Times.
The Ghanaian Times says let's prioritize organic fertilizer in crop production. This is coming from Professor David Miller, president of the Miller Open University.
Right.
Also on the front page, prove your critics wrong. Ghana Health Service dedicates health desk at regional district hospitals to support persons with disabilities. And Mr. Albert John Foy is on the front page of the paper, the president of the GJA, government GJA, to meet over journalist safety.
Okay.
And then on the front page of the New Republic, Kenzo must go. Pressure mounts on Mahama to remove MPP's Kenzo as VRA CEO. Galamsey boss battles retention after aiding MPP honchos to destroy forest reserves. It's another story that they have. Massive rot at ECG. Ghana education shake-up needed. And then let me take you to the Chronicle and the Daybreak banner. The Chronicle this morning says that NDC chairman caught in Galamsey web. There's a big question they are asking. Adamus Resources say he has invaded its concession. Also more Galamsey stories from Evaluate Jira. I'll give you details. Today's Ghanaian Chronicle, the Chronicle is simply going with Galamsey.
A lot of it.
Yes. Now if you go to the front page of the Daybreak newspaper, ex-NSA bosses reject ghost names accusation. Coming up as a story that they are focusing on about massive encroachment of Takrady Air Force Base land. And then finally, from the Daily Post's front page, court convicts wannabe Akwatia MP, orders his arrest, revocation of public sector appointments irreversible.
If you go online, ChannelOne TV also has a lot of Galamsey stories. Yesterday we spoke to the Minister for Environment, Mutala Ibrahim. He says no MP or minister involved in Galamsey will be spared.
Yeah.
He also says we are deepening stakeholder engagement on Galamsey. Other stories, Ghana not under military takeover, Bawumia condemns Oforiate's raid. He also says to Mahama, reverse unfair revocation of appointments. Then Haruna Mohammed says court prejudge Ernest Kumi's case. In other stories, passport office to operate 3 shifts under 24-hour system.
Interesting.
A Black White announcing this. Meanwhile, Penny Market says will ensure Akwatia MP submits to court ruling. And then Boku conflict hurting revenue mobilization according to PURC. Still on the Galamsey, Obonhu youth are protesting the burning of excavators by the Forestry Commission. Now, CitiNewsroom.com also has a number of big ones. Bawumia's appeal to Mahama is here. Reverse unfair dismissals protect all Ghanaians. Now, there's a strange little story here. Customs officers open fire on uncustomed vehicle. Engineer injured by stray bullets.
True.
We'll give you those details shortly. Court must punish Akwatia MP any day he is arrested. This is Beidou. 70% of Accra's street lights to be fixed in 50 days. Regional minister reiterates. Yesterday she spoke to the media. She says her 50-day deadline is still on. Meanwhile, Kwachu Fosu says revocation of public sector appointments is irreversible. And then a very troubling statistic. Kofi Boa, Lands Minister, told Parliament yesterday, only 40 out of 800 galamseyers have been prosecuted. Can you imagine that? Yesterday we asked the Environment Minister his take on this. If you go to Major Online, no running away. Akufo-Addo urges ex-appointees to face accountability.
Yeah.
Nanabi vows to sue Fourth Estate over NSS Ghost Names allegation. Illegal miners block Forestry Commission's access after hijacking 9 reserves. And then water scarcity in Agotim, Eziope, Adakru districts to worsen as Toje gets polluted. Hey, this has got into the Volta region. I hope it's not Galamsey. Meanwhile, 15 CSIR projects in danger over USAID funding cut. Brother, this is serious. Now, Clocksack has started a strike over government's insistence on appointing somebody they consider
to be a politically exposed person
as the head of birth and death unit. And then I'm taking you to Star FM finally before you go to the international places.
Yes, please.
I don't understand this. Kotoko to get new AstroTurf as Blaze Investment start construction at Adakun Jachie. Why is Kotoko getting an AstroTurf?
Is Blaze not Memphis Depay? Because he's promised to get them a turf.
Why does Kotoko need an AstroTurf? Lands Minister paints bleak picture of devastation of illegal mining. And then court throws out case against MPP's Collins Amwa over lack of locus. All these stories and more. And then miners demonstrate over burning of excavators and say the incident has rendered 50 people jobless. This is a big story. We'll probably start with Galamsey, but let's go to international news.
Yes, if we go elsewhere, Bloomberg, South Africa tax drama spawns budget delays, coalition chaos. We are told, and Renault targets stable returns in tougher Europe auto market. That's from Bloomberg Africa. If I take you to CNN quickly, and then also the BBC, inside the 48 hours that Trump turned on Zelensky. Israeli hosted families forum receive heart-shattering news of baby's death. We are told monkeys are climbing rope bridges to cross roads in the Amazon. Okay. What China fears most about Trump's turn towards Russia. These are some of the stories on CNN this morning.
BBC is also leading with that.
Yeah.
They are basically talking about Trump's descent on Zelensky.
That's right.
And then Trump tells BBC that Russia has the cards in the peace negotiations. This is so bizarre, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently they're saying he's echoing some of the stuff Russia is saying. I mean, we all know Trump's relationship with Russia, even in his first term. You know, it came up quite strongly. So Trump calls Zelensky a dictator as the rift deepens between the two leaders. Zelensky says nobody's going to decide the end of Ukraine's war without Ukraine's involvement. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Well, so let's get into the details.
Well, I want to start with education, but
Okay,
unless you want to
do education.
because the National Education Forum is ongoing, and the Catholic bishops have sent some very strong messages across on what they want to happen. You find these stories in the Daily Graphic and the Ghanaian Times. On page 13 of the Daily Graphic, the Vice President of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofifianu, SVD, has said the non-compliance by some politicians with the partnership between the government and missionaries in the provision of education is inimical to the success of any envisaged education reform. For instance, he said some appointments and transfers to and from Catholic schools without recourse to the church left the church wondering whether there existed a partnership with the government. He also spoke about other things. He said the unfriendly posture of some education directors to the Catholic Church does not in any way promote collaboration and delivery of quality education. He said the upsurge in social vices and corrupt practices in the country was a great source of concern to the church. Shedding light on the expected reforms, Bishop Fianu said the use of Catholic school compounds for structural developments without any engagement with the church was in bad taste. Earlier, the Vice Chancellor of the Whole Technical University, Professor Ben Kyo Honyenuga, Said there was a need to strengthen educational institutions for the heads to play active roles in their transformation continually. A retired director of education, Ms. Grace Bonwedi, said it was essential to build more day senior high schools, which provided one hot meal to each student in a day. The Home Municipal President of the Ghana Society of the Physically Disabled, Alex Kosi Aso Akpo, called for the establishment of disability centers at the second cycle and tertiary institutions to attend to the specific needs of persons with disability. Now, on page 10 of the Ghanaian Times, the Catholic bishop have accepted the apology of the president. Again, Most Reverend Fianum said the overpopulation at second cycle schools, which affected character formation, teacher-student ratio, teacher contact hours with individual students, and proper supervision was of concern to Catholic bishops. You can get the paper for more details.
Caleb, there's a lot of stories on Galamsey. I'm just going to give you 3.
Right.
The first one is from the Minister of Lands, and I'm using the GNS version. Ghana's forest reserves, water bodies under siege. Government vows to act. So, and this is from Elsie Apia Osei. She says, Ghana's Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Kofi-Boa, Wednesday, highlighted the devastating impact of illegal mining, known as Galamsey, on the country's forest reserves and water bodies. He painted a grim picture of the situation, citing the destruction of over 5,000 hectares of forest reserves, equivalent to about 7,500 standard football pitches. Here's a quote, Mr. Speaker, the approach adopted by these legal miners or mining thugs is quite alarming and frightening. They are heavily armed with sophisticated weapons and violent with large numbers of excavators, Mr. Abua said on the floor of Parliament. He made these remarks when he delivered a statement on the floor of the House. Now, he highlighted the critical impact of Galamsey on Ghana's water bodies, with turbidity levels exceeding 5,000 to 12,000 nephelometric turbidity units, or NTUs. All right, so he basically painted a grim picture and says they are rolling out a number of initiatives to deal with this. Then the Minister for Environment, on the point of view, reiterated that no MP or minister involved in Galamsey will be spared. Then he also went on to echo the call for support. He asked journalists to support the fight against Galamsey.
Yeah.
And let me just read that angle. Minister for Environment, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, has urged journalists to actively support the fight against illegal mining, emphasizing that their critical role is important in raising awareness on shaping public discourse. All right. Now, the third one has to do with community reactions to attempts to stop Galamsey. And I'll give you 2 stories. Neilni Kanaku from ChannelOne News. Obonho youth protest burning of excavators by Forestry Commission. Some youth of Obonho and Obonho Fanti at Ayensuano in Eastern Region are demonstrating against what they describe as unlawful burning of excavators by the Forestry Commission. The group, chanting war songs clad in red and black, are demanding the immediate arrest and prosecution of the personnel who burned the excavators. Now, last week, some officers of the rapid unit of the Forestry Commission who visited the community set ablaze 4 excavators, which were allegedly being used to invade the Atiwa Forest and Ayensu River. All right. Now, the youth who denied invading the forest to engage in Galamsey called on the IGP and the National Security Coordinator to immediately intervene to ensure the arrest and prosecution of the Forestry Commission officers. Now, still on that story, there's a different angle. Legal miners block Forestry Commission's access after hijacking 9 reserves. So that's the Major Line angle. Yeah. The minister painted a disturbing picture of the fight against Galamsey. According to him, illegal miners have taken over 9 forest reserves, preventing the Forestry Commission from accessing them. And the minister said this during Parliament. So I'm not sure whether the Obonho one was one. But according to the minister, 9 out of 44 forest reserves have been completely taken over by these illegal mining thugs with impunity. Now, there's a final bit here where the EPA is telling us the cost of fighting illegal mining, the amount of money it would cost us. EPA says Ghana requires billions to reclaim and restore degraded lands. Albert Opong and Science reporting that Ghana will need billions of dollars to treat, reclaim, and restore vast degraded lands and water bodies caused by activities of illegal miners over the years. Professor Nana Brown-Kluche, acting CEO of EPA, described the situation as an emergency and appealed to development partners to support the country. Speaking to GNA on Tuesday, she gave a hint that a World Bank-funded project had helped reclaim some lands, but it was a pilot stage. Yesterday, the minister also said there was a new technology they were going to use to try and clean our water.
Yeah.
Going to cost us some money as well.
Wow, that's interesting. Now let me take you. Go for it.
Yeah, I have a lot of Galamsey stories
still?
as well. Yeah,
Plenty.
the Chronicle, they are pointing at specific allegations.
Okay.
So on page 3, they're asking the question: NDC chairman caught in Galamsey Web. Management of Adamus Resources Limited, an international mining company operating in the Lembele municipality, has accused the NDC constituency chairman for Evaluatura Jomoro and Kofi of invading his concession and doing illegal mining. The company has specifically mentioned the NDC chairman's name as having encroached on this mining concession at Akango North, but all efforts to stop him has proved futile. Now, the NDC chairman has denied this. There was a press conference by the constituency executives who have jumped to the defense of the chairman. Also on the same page, Chairman Kofi denies involvement. So basically 3 related stories on Galamsey.
Now, Passport Office to operate 24-hour system, 3 units. Okujeto Black Foreign Affairs Minister has asked staff at the Passport Office to brace up for 24-hour work schedule as part of government's plans to implement a 24-hour economy policy. Speaking at the passport headquarters in Accra, Ablakwa stressed the need for faster passport processing, stating that applications should be able or applicants rather, should be able to receive their passports within a week of application. He further revealed plans to introduce chip embedded passports and integrate passports with the National Identification Authority system to streamline the identification process.
Right now, 70% of Accra street lights to be fixed in
50 days.
This is
No, I have it here.
Regional Minister reiterates.
Yes.
So the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu has reaffirmed her commitment to ensuring that 70% of streetlights in Accra are operational in the next 50 days. She assured residents that significant progress would be visible by March 10, emphasizing her determination to fulfill this pledge despite challenges. Speaking on the initiative, Minister Oklu underscored the importance of well-lit streets in enhancing security and improving visibility for motorists and pedestrians. She noted that her office is working closely with relevant agencies to accelerate the repair and installation of streetlights across the capital. So we should expect something visible by March 10.
Is to give me March 10 is the 50 days.
March 10 is when she says we can start seeing significant progress.
Okay.
So we should give it up to March 10.
Let me take you to the Daybreak newspaper on page 3. At least 88 acres of land belonging to the Air Force Base in Takrady in the Western region have been taken over by encroachers. The 88 acres of land form part of over 600 acres specifically demarcated by the central government for establishment of the Air Force Base and its operations. Air Commodore Kwabena Kisiedu Manukure Atiemu disclosed this when he briefed the chairman of the RECHSEC, that's the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, about their operations.
The NPP minority said they will ensure Akwatia MP complies with the court ruling.
Yeah.
Now, this is the ruling that has held him in contempt. Minority leader Alexander Penyo Marking has assured that the caucus will take necessary steps to ensure Akwatia MP and Kumi complies with the law. His statement follows the Koforidua High Court's conviction of Kumi for contempt after he defied an injunction barring him from being sworn in as legislator. Presiding Judge Senyo Amedahe also issued a bench warrant for his arrest after he failed to appear for sentencing. The court had previously restrained Kumi from presenting himself for swearing in pending the resolution of a legal dispute. However, he proceeded to take the oath of office in Parliament despite the directive. Citing overwhelming evidence of willful defiance, the court ruled that Kumi had acted in contempt. An official letter from the minority caucus attempting to justify the absence of the MP from hearing was dismissed by the judge, who maintained that Kumi had disregarded the court's authority.
Kenzo must go is also on the front page of the New Republic, and I think you also have a clock sack strike.
Yes, I don't even.
And the clock sack strike is a big deal. So VR, well, this is not from the VRA, but a group calling itself New Voter Forum say Engineer Kenzo must
go. Let me bring you a dose of some international. President Trump is calling Zelensky a dictator as rift between the two leaders deepens. So President Trump has spent a day attacking Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, calling him a dictator and deepening the rift between the two leaders. His attacks came after Zelensky, reacting to US-Russia talks in Saudi Arabia from Kiev, was excluded. Said the US president was living in a disinformation space governed by Moscow. Now, speaking at a Saudi-backed investment meeting in Florida, Trump said the only thing Zelensky was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle.
That's serious. Anyway, we'll leave it here for now.
Yeah.
And see what happens next.
Thank you, gentlemen.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.